Welcome to the AnyGames.ie podcast, the home of five-a-side, grassroots and amateur football in Ireland. Our goal is to build a community, connecting people in Ireland through football, discussing the latest news and developments across the country and interviewing the people behind local clubs and organisations, with some Premier League talk in there too. You can catch all our episodes on Spotify and YouTube, get involved in our community on AnyGames.ie and find us on social media through Facebook, Instagram and X. If you like what you hear, follow us, give us a like and get involved in the comments. Now, let's get into this week's episode.
Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the AnyGames.ie podcast with me, Dave.
And me, Gav.
Gav, episode 17.
Yeah.
Second one back after the new year. And I feel like I got back into the flow of it actually last week then.
By the end of it.
By the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, it took a while to get into it though, didn't it? Get the rhythm back.
Anyway, how's your week been?
From a footballing standpoint, probably the best weekend I've had in a long time, Dave.
I'd imagine it was.
Yeah, for many different reasons, but we'll get into that as the episode goes.
Yeah. But myself, I...
Sorry, I didn't ask. That was very rude of me.
It's not the first time, Gav. This is the...
What about you, Dave?
Team. I've been good. We've been good. I, like yourself, actually watched a good bit of football over the weekend. And at one point, I was very positive about things. And then I texted you Sunday night and I said I want to have me 2 cents on something.
Yeah.
This week on the podcast.
I think we've a lot to cover this week in terms of football. Really do.
We do.
Everything from the amateur game, which we'll get into, and then obviously we'll finish up with the Premier League. There's a lot to talk to there.
Yeah, there's a bit to talk about there as well.
So I think the best place to start, Dave, is across our socials. Have we had much interaction this week?
We have. There's been a good bit of interaction on the social this week, but I'll start with AnyGames.ie, and in the Find a Game section over there's a couple of people looking to get hooked up with a game of 5-a-side or 7-a-side in the Dundalk area. There's a little thread on there and it says looking for soccer groups in Dundalk and Drogheda, and there's actually a couple of people in there looking to get connected. So if anybody listening in the Dundalk Drogheda area has a 5-a-side or a 7-a-side game, let them know. Jump over to AnyGames.ie, sign up and get back to them on the website there. Now, we've had other interaction as well, and we've had comments on the Spotify post from last week and across some of our socials, but I think they fit in better with the end of the podcast when we talk about the Premier League. So we might hold on to them till the end.
Yeah, we can save down till the end and we'll discuss them when we're discussing the Premier League.
Yep. But also this week where we did have a lot of interaction and a fair bit of interaction was we put up a couple of posts for the Finglas United and Bohs game this weekend. And you were at that yourself, Gav. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, so they've had everything. It was an unbelievable day. Terrific match, literally from the minute I left the house. So I'm only a short walk from Larney Park. Myself and my eldest fella walked up, and even on the walk up you could feel it. It felt like a proper match day.
Atmosphere was all there.
Yeah, there was crowds, there was lads getting off the bus with their chicken fillet rolls and their
nice.
Their breakfast rolls and everything, and there was just a good crowd building up.
Proper match day vibe.
Everyone heading to Larney Park, and I have to say, massive credit to Finglas United. I know obviously I'm associated with the club, but as far as I know, that's the first time they've kind of had an event that big.
Yeah. And
had a crowd that big. So there was kind of all temporary measures put in place. There was fencing, it was a ticketed event, and everything went swimmingly. Like the sun was shining.
Yeah,
everything was just set up for a great day. And it was a full house, fully sold out. I had all the Bohs fans, all the Finglas fans. It was just a good atmosphere around the place even before kick-off. And the game itself was a really well-contested game. Both teams were really up for it. Now, Bohs put out a young enough team.
Yeah, as you probably would have expected.
As you would have expected, but let me tell you, these lads were up for it.
Yeah.
Like both sides were really up for it. It was hard to split them, particularly in the first half. You would have said Bohs maybe with the better of the chances.
You were saying that to me during the game.
Yeah, Finglas United goalkeeper with a couple, 1 or 2 maybe big saves, particularly one fingertip over the crossbar. Really good effort. But all around, just really well contested game. Now, I had said to you, what do you think about covering it as part of the AnyGames socials, you know, putting it up across all our platforms and giving live updates, so to speak, and throwing up a couple of images and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was taking pictures and updating you on what was going on and everything else.
You were getting them out to me, and I was getting them out.
You were getting them up on socials.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see if we'd get any interaction, if there was any interest for it, because we had spoken last week about covering the Leinster Senior League.
Yeah. And the amateur football in general.
Amateur football in general. So, you know, that's where our head was at. Like, that's what we kind of wanted to be covering going forward. So this was kind of us dipping our toe in the water.
Yeah, just to see what it was, what kind of reaction it would get. Well, I tell you, it did catch on.
What reaction there?
Yeah.
I mean, it probably helped that it was a fantastic winning goal.
Yeah.
And it came in the 93rd minute.
What a goal. I mean, just to go back to the goal, actually, from the pass, because anybody who hasn't seen the goal, it's up there on the AnyGames.ie Socials, on the TikTok, the YouTube, and the Instagram page. Head over there and check it out.
Yeah, so the ball came, it was a long ball forward, and then a cross in from the left-hand side, and there was two young lads who played for Finglas United under-18s Premier team.
Yeah, that's right.
That had come off the bench to team up for that goal. So the ball came in from the left, and Clayton McKeever laid it off to Leon McLaren, who it was just a great bit of build-up play.
Two things: the little
moment of magic,
the little deft touch back,
yeah,
and then the first time finish.
Just to have that awareness to lay the ball off. I mean, he could have taken a touch, tried to get the shot away himself, but to have the train of thought and the clarity to just pop it off.
Yeah. Fair play.
It was a great finish by Leon then as well. So I think it was such a dramatic finish to the game.
Yeah.
It kind of added to it.
What were you saying? It was 93rd minute or something?
93rd minute.
Yeah. I mean, unbelievable.
And there was really, up until that point, that there was nothing splitting the teams. I mean, although it was 0-0, it wasn't a boring 0-0.
Yeah.
It was still a very good game to watch. You know, it wasn't so much end to end, but it was just. It was a good, hard fought game.
Yeah,
you know, everybody got stuck in. Everything left. Every one of the players, I should say, left everything out there on the pitch. You know, It was a really top performance by both teams, and it took that moment of magic to split them in the end. And it was brilliant. And because we had covered it, and it was for us, it was just us sort of dipping our toe in the water of it.
Yeah. But it was what a moment to actually pick up.
We couldn't have picked a better moment.
No,
we really couldn't have.
It was unreal.
And the reaction and interaction that we've since received across all our socials. I mean, I think the video of Leon's goal on TikTok is nearly up at 17,000 views.
Yeah, 17,000 views, something
around
like that.
800 likes.
And a bunch of comments.
I think
there's actually a comment in there from someone from Bray, saying looking forward to the game this weekend.
Yeah,
should be a tough game. So so it picked up and saying fair play, and it should be a tough game, and they're looking forward to it. You know, like so.
Yeah, absolutely. So we might find ourselves at the Bray game on Sunday as well. We might cover that, and
so keep an eye out on the socials again this weekend, because more cup action coming your way.
Well, it's great because you will have heard us a lot of the times speaking on the podcast about our plans going forward, and constantly looking for listener feedback, and that kind of gave us all the feedback we could have asked for and more, just to know that the interest was there.
Yeah, we've heard from a lot of people actually over the course of the last few days from those posts alone. Post Malone. But no, I really appreciate all the feedback we got as well, because it was all very positive. And thanks to anybody who interacted on the socials. It's great, because it's what we're looking for.
Yeah. And we did speak last week as well about upcoming guests and where we're kind of going over the next couple of weeks with the podcast. And I don't know about you, but this is like giving me a new level of energy.
Yeah.
Seeing the interaction and the reaction that we've gotten over the weekend.
But even down to
that single game.
Even down to, we posted some stuff up there on the socials, you know, this weekend from a game. And it's just kind of made me look at where we can go and stuff we want to do. And we've been talking about it. That's what we want to do. And we didn't even go into any great depth on it. We just posted a couple of clips of a goal, celebrations, and a couple of like updates throughout the match.
Yeah. But I mean, from going from last Wednesday to discussing how we'd like to cover the amateur football game in Ireland and the Leinster Senior League and then to be up at a game like that.
Yeah.
And to throw up a couple of posts, we didn't go too heavy with it. But even in that, the reaction, as I said, was phenomenal. So that's nearly justified. Not justified, it's sort of reinforced kind of where we want to take it.
Yeah.
That the interest is out there.
Because when we started doing this, we always had a feeling that people would have an interest in keeping an eye on the amateur game and keeping an eye on the local game across the country. And I think just from that little bit of dipping our toe in this weekend, it really does show that is actually a thing.
Yeah, so congratulations again to Finglas United on that victory, all but guaranteeing them a place in the quarterfinals of the Cup, although they will be going up against Bray on Sunday and looking to fully seal the deal and get a win there as well. So again, well done to Finglas United. And then moving on, we are going to have a look back at the Leinster Senior League results from last weekend. Now, Dave, I've had a look at these results and I don't think we could have picked a better time.
Really?
To start following the Leinster Senior League because it's getting juicy.
Okay.
It's getting juicy. There was a couple of upsets over the weekend. The teams at the top of the table are all bunching up nicely together. It's setting up really well.
Setting up for a interesting season.
Yeah, I feel like Paddy McGuinness here. My phone keeps going off. I better put that on silent. I don't know if did you watch Paddy McGuinness on the Good, the Bad, and the Football? He hosted with Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt.
It's a very United heavy podcast. I'm not going to really be listening to that one.
It is. We might reference it later on when we get into the Premier League.
Fair enough.
Because just like Finglas United, Man United are also back.
They had a result, didn't they? Baby. They had a result. But we'll get into that.
We will get into it. I can't wait to get into it, Dave. I have so much to say. So I'll just bring up the results here and we'll go through them for the Leinster Senior League. So there was a couple of games that were postponed. Ballymun United, Leicester, Donnycarney, and the Bangor Celtic Mocktus games, they were postponed. I'm not sure the reason on that.
No, because the weather was okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that was down. Now, in saying that, was the weather bad on Sunday?
No, sure.
Because they were down for the 18th.
I don't think so, anyway.
But the games that were played out, so Inchicore beat St. Francis 3-0, and Kilbarrack beat Tolka Rovers 2-1, which have put Kilbarrack up at top of the league. So going into the weekend, Malahide were top of the league, but they were beaten away at Wayside Celtic.
Okay.
And that game was 2-1. And then Lucan United beat Usher Celtic 5-1. So that leaves, as I said, Kilbarrack United have now moved to the top of the league. Lucan are in second place there. Joint second, I should say, with Malahide United. And Tolka Rovers in fourth. Wayside Celtic have now moved up to fifth. They've jumped up ahead of Finglas United on goal difference. However, they do have a game in hand over Finglas. So it's quite close. I mean, Kilbarrack are up on 27 points now. You've got Lucan and Malahide at 26, Tolka at 25, and then Wayside Celtic and Finglas United both on 23. So that's like, I mean,
it's fairly tight.
Only 4 points there separating the top six.
So what do we look like for the weekend then, in terms of especially looking at the top of the table there?
Yeah, so looking forward to this week, we've got Kilbarrack at home to Inchicore. We've got Lucan at home to UCD. Malahide at home to Ballymun. We've got Mocktus at home to Usher Celtic. Bangor Celtic at home to St. Francis. And Leicester Donnycarney are at home to Wayside Celtic.
Okay.
So there's not too many top of the table clashes there. But it'll be interesting to see now over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then obviously Finglas United are in the cup this week, so they have no league game.
Again, they'll have a couple of games in hand now.
They will. Now, they did have a couple of games in hand over a few of the teams already, so it's needed giving them an opportunity now to catch back up. Like Kilbarrack, they've only played 12 up until now, where Finglas United have played 14.
Okay.
So it's the other teams needed catching up.
Right, I get you. Yeah.
on Finglas United, so it should start to sort of even itself out in terms of games played. But there's a lot of teams in the running now.
Yeah, it's tight. Like,
it's tight. So from our perspective on the podcast, over the next couple of weeks, from now until the end of the season, we're going to try get out to as many games as we can.
Yeah, we're going to try and reach out to some of these clubs as well and see if they'll have us.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody's listening from any of the clubs, get in touch with us, reach out to us and let us know if you'd like us to come out.
Yeah, so we want to start covering that across our socials. We'd like to start maybe getting post-match interviews in as well. That's kind of where our heads are at, discussing the games with the managers and the players post-match as well. It'd be great, and we can tie that into the...
It'd be great if we can get out and, you know, the team we're covering that week actually win. You have more of an appetite from the managers to talk to you.
Yeah, they might not want to know us if it's they're on the back end of a bad defeat, but hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's more of the same of what we got last week.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of things to come for us.
Do love a bit of drama.
But yeah, absolutely. The Leinster Senior League definitely hotting up at the moment, and it looks like it's going to be a very, very juicy run in from now till the end of the season. So
good to see.
Yeah. Stay with us from now till then to keep up to date.
Gav, we'll do a little bit of in the news. Is there anything that caught your eye this week?
Well, I was going to talk about transfers, and I think if we talk about transfers, Dave, we have to start with Dele Alli.
The big rumour.
Rumour that was. Yeah. That is. I mean, I don't know what to believe. The internet's gone absolutely mad on this.
Internet's gone mad. Some people are saying absolute nonsense. He was spotted around Dublin this week, apparently.
Oh, it's grown legs.
It's grown legs.
So, for me, it started off that he was in Downey's in Cabra.
Right.
And then I heard that he was in Haiwan and Finglas. Then I heard that he was out in Blanche with the lads. Bohs, doing a bit of shopping.
That's crazy.
So
who knows what's true?
There was images of him and his missus going through Dublin Airport with the Dublin Airport shopping bag.
Right, okay.
And
is it possible?
Somebody asked Grok, was this picture real? And I don't know. See, you don't know what to believe. AI is so good now.
But the picture could well be real.
It could well be real.
He's just in Dublin for the weekend.
Yeah, he's just on the piss doing the Guinness Storehouse.
It is some rumour, and it would be something else if he ended up signing for Bohs.
Yeah, because we've already heard this week that James McClean is going back to Derry.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be James McClean unless he went out with a bang.
No. A two-finger salute.
Two-finger salute.
Yeah.
To all the crowds and opposition fans who gave him, not even opposition, probably his own fans.
Some of his own fans as well. It all came down to the not wearing the poppy thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is well within his rights.
He is,
to do.
Although at times he was a little bit excessive with some of the stuff he done. But I mean,
when you hear him talking about it, because obviously it's something that he's spoken about on many occasions.
Yeah,
I always kind of lean into his side. I know there's ways of going about things and whatever.
But there is, but you kind of have to take on board and what he's saying. And I suppose anybody over the other side of the water who was booing him, criticising him, anything like that, I don't think they fully understand the situation.
No, he in fairness to him, he got a great farewell from Wrexham. I seen not Ryan Reynolds,
Rob McElhenney.
I seen Rob McElhenney put up a great post. He was like, I can't put up too many words to describe my love for this man, but for now I'll just say thank you for everything, Jimmy.
Yeah,
best of luck. Do you know what I mean? Which was nice.
He went down well at Wrexham actually.
He was captain.
Yeah.
Back-to-back promotions.
Yeah, he was only there 2 years, was he?
Yeah. I mean,
impactful 2 years though. I mean,
yeah, 100%, and to do that at the back end of your career as well.
Yeah,
it's something really meaningful to do. You know, it would have been very easy for him to sit in the bench maybe for a Premier League club or
even to have another season at Wrexham and maybe sit on the bench a little bit there as well.
Yeah, but his move to Wrexham alone was meaningful.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? Not just the move to Derry, obviously that is as well.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so, but for him at the time when he made that move, I mean, he could have got moves elsewhere. He could have stayed up at a higher level. I know obviously they're up in the Championship now,
Yeah, but he could have been.
But
he
he's
could have
part
went.
of that.
He could have went to a championship team.
Yeah.
And anyway, or a lower Premier League team, even you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But,
so congrats to James McClean on that move, and
yeah, hopefully that works out for him now. At
great
Derry.
for Derry.
Yeah, very good for them.
Great acquisition for them. Great to have him back in the League of Ireland. And we'll wait and see if he's up against Dele Alli next season.
Dele Alli and Dalymount Park.
One of the things I thought was hilarious in response to the Dele Alli one was it's false alarm, guys. It's just the new Dele down the alley at Dalymount.
Nice. I mean, that has a tongue twister about it, doesn't it?
I know. I'm surprised I got it out first time.
Dele Alli and the new Dele down in Dalymount.
Yeah. New Dele Alli.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Anything else catch your eye in the news this week?
Yeah, well, I suppose the big one in the Premier League has been the Mark Gay move from Palace to City. And I know on the podcast last week we had a couple of comments underneath just in relation to that discussion on Semenyo. Do you want to read those out to us, Dave?
Yeah, well, we had one there on the comments on Spotify, and it comes from Shazi, and it is a great point on Semenyo and City, because you were talking about Semenyo kind of just becoming another player at City. And
yeah, I don't think he was ever going to be a difference maker for City. Terrific player. Look, we've waxed lyrical about him from the start of this season. He's been unplayable at times. But
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily think he was going to be the player that maybe City needed.
Yeah.
And I think he's just going to be part of the furniture there. I don't think he's going to be as standout as he was at Bournemouth.
And that's what Shazi kind of agrees with you there on that one anyway. So he says, great point on Semenyo and City. And then he goes on to say, United fans need to lower their expectations in who the next permanent manager is too. If people thought the fallout between Wilcox and Ruben was big, they can forget about getting the likes of a Tuchel or a Luis Enrique in. No one big in the world of football is going to answer to the likes of Wilcox. It's going to be yes man and the recruitment policy with the current circus at Old Trafford.
Yeah, just in relation to the United managerial appointment, I think I've got a lot to say on that, but I think I'm going to wait until we actually get into the Premier League results and we talk about United in a bit more detail. But I do think Shaw's right in what he's saying there. We do have to be careful what we wish for. Now, that comment did come prior to that game.
It did.
So I wonder how Shaw's is feeling about that now since. But look, we'll
interesting to see. Throw it back to Shazi if you're listening.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel about the whole United situation now.
We'll go into that in a bit more detail now shortly once we start covering the Premier League results.
Yep, that's fair enough. Just I suppose we're talking about Palace there. How do you see their situation at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're in any great danger. I know, obviously, they've lost players now, and Mark Gay being their captain as well is a big one. We've also seen Mateta coming out this week and saying that he plans to leave.
Yeah.
He's looking for the Premier League.
Do you think he'd be professional enough to still put in the performances between now and the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm mixed in terms of my assessment of Mateta as a player. I mean, he's been scoring, right, which it is his job.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, he's probably got the worst first touch of any player in the Premier League.
It's cat, isn't it?
It's absolutely it's cat, right? It's brutal. But he's got the power, he's got the strength, he's got the pace, and
we can rebuild.
We can rebuild him. He's put a good numbers up this season so far. So I think it'd be an acquisition for someone.
He's an interesting player. He's not going to go to a top club anyway, put it that way.
I don't know who would need him. Like, who else would you see him at in the Premier League? Because he said that he would like to either go to the Premier League or Serie A. He's no interest in going to the likes of a Saudi or anything. So
he's only going to get a West Ham or a. I was going to say Brentford, but I mean they're up there, aren't they? Like,
if that is the case, see, I don't think he would go to West Ham because that's a step down. He's talking about looking for a new challenge. So obviously, he feels like he is at the stand of a higher team than Palace. Now, Palace are a concrete mid-table team.
Yeah, and I think that. But to be honest, I think that's his level. I don't see Tottenham. There you go. You can go to Tottenham.
No, that's a step down, Dave.
That's true again. That
That's
is a step down. You're right. And they actually...
Unless he just wants to play in Europe, but like, they're not going to be in Europe next season. So
no, he might get it at a... I mean, he's not... Villa won't want him.
Well, who have Villa got up front other than Watkins, really? You know? The problem with Villa is they don't have money to spend. So I don't think it's an option for Villa. They probably would want him. He'd probably be good to have off the bench. I don't think they start him ahead of Watkins for the style of play that they have. I don't know if he kind of suits their setup, but there might be games or there might be times in the game where he's needed. But I think as the main man up top, I don't know where he kind of fits in unless he went to Did you say Brentford there a minute ago?
Yeah,
but Brentford could be a show.
And if they continue on as they are, they'll get some European football this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is about him? He strikes me as a player who would have fit in well back in the days of a 4-4-2, playing with another striker.
Yeah, maybe so. Like, he's the target man.
Yeah.
You know, you can hit the long ball up to him. But again, as I said, his first touch is diabolical. For a Premier League player, it's a shocking first touch. But again, if you get the ball beyond him and give him a ball to run onto, he's got the pace and the strength to get on the end of it and put it in the back of the net, which is his job at the end of the day.
With Palace as well, actually, they did sign Brennan Johnson this week from They Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah, that's a surprising one because it felt like not too long ago Johnson was the golden boy at Spurs. I mean, up to last season, he was one of their top players now. I'm nearly sure he started in the European final against United.
Yeah, he probably would have done.
Yeah, so
he featured heavily, very heavily for Spurs.
I know. He had a couple of injuries coming into the season, and maybe just hasn't featured as much. Maybe Thomas Frank just doesn't see it in him, you know. So,
but I don't know. I don't know if you're a club and your manager's doing as well as Thomas Frank is at Spurs. Are you going to sell players that the manager doesn't like or doesn't see fit into his squad when you think maybe he's not going to be there too much longer?
Maybe it's just an opportunity that came up. He probably necessarily wasn't put out on the market, but somebody came in for him.
Yeah, it's just one of those.
The offer was decent enough, and the club said, "You know what, we'll take it."
Those ones that went under the radar. I don't even know when it happened. I just saw the news on it today.
Yeah, but I don't think Palace will be too affected by Gahey leaving. Obviously, he's captain, really top quality player, and I would say as far as City go, I can see Gahey having more of an impact, especially at the moment at City, than Semenyo.
Oh well, they need him. They need to shore up their defence a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you seen obviously against United, they were all over the place. I think Ruben Diaz is out, Vardy is out. They're missing a bit of experience at the back.
Yeah,
I think Gahey will slot in there nicely for City. So I'd say he'd be very much welcome there at the moment, given their injury issues in the defensive line. So yeah, I think he'd be more impactful, particularly at this moment in time, than Semenyo is.
Yeah,
so
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, we'll see how that develops.
Yeah.
With that, then we will move on to last week's Premier League action.
Yeah, I think we'll have a look at it, will we?
Go through the results. So kicking off match week 22, it was a juicy one, Dave.
Yeah, it was.
We spoke last week, right? And one of the things I said to you when we talked about Amram leaving and Michael Carrick coming in, I just pray for a day where I can come in here and talk on the podcast
after a performance.
Just a good, solid performance.
Yeah.
That's all I was looking for.
And you got it?
I got it in spades.
You definitely got it?
I got it in spades. Now, there's kind of a lot to cover in this, right? Many aspects, managers, tactics, all that sort of stuff. So I want to get really proper stuck into it, right?
So we're going into the United portion of the podcast.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. So I hope all the listeners are sitting down for this one. So first of all, from the United point of view, best performance I've seen United probably in 18 months, I'd say.
It's been a while since you've had something like that.
And from a City point of view, really poor performance from them. Didn't show up at all. Now, if you're a United fan, I think you're probably going to have two questions coming out of the back of that game once all the sort of elation has calmed down. The first question is going to be, where's that been for the last 18 months?
Yeah.
From a player's point of view, the second question you're going to have is, was that performance just on the basis of Derby Day new manager energy?
I suppose with that one, only time will tell.
Right, so I'll give you my thoughts on it. What I would say is, a lot of the players that stood out, the majority of the United team were excellent on Saturday. They really were. A couple of standouts. Patrick Dorgu, Dele Alli, and you would say Bruno Fernandes as well, from an attacking sense. I thought defensively we were solid. Martinez and Maguire in particular, brilliant. But I thought the lads up front were absolutely brilliant. The ground that Dorgu and Dele Alli covered, absolutely phenomenal. Now, in relation to the first question, when we say, where's that performance been the last 18 months? If you look back on the United's games, for the most part, that work rate has been there. Like, if you look at Dorgu and you look at Dele Alli, you look at Mbeumo, that work rate has been there. Now, Mbeumo and Dele Alli only came back from AFCON, so for the last couple of games, Ruben Amorim didn't have them. But even with them on the pitch prior to that, we got seen nothing like that level of performance that we're seeing on Saturday.
No.
But I would say the work rate was there. I'd say a lot of it was Derby Day energy and the new managerial appointments. But you have to remember, we had Darren Fletcher in prior to that, and we didn't get that reaction.
Didn't look the same.
What I thought was brilliant from Michael Carrick was, in some ways, he went back to basics, but he also made some tough decisions there. He started Dorgu ahead of Cunha.
Yeah.
Bold move.
Yeah.
Stuck Maguire in there, only back from coming off the back of an injury. Hasn't really had many minutes. And he set up in a 4-4-2. You can call it what you want. You can, say it was a 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to
Whatever you want.
call
But
it.
we only spoke about 4-4-2 earlier, actually.
It was essentially a 4-4-2, whatever way you want to call it. Like, Bruno was playing the number 10 just behind. But it was interchangeable, right? So for keep it basic, it was a 4-4-2. But it was how we played within that 4-4-2. If I was to be hypercritical of the whole performance, I would say I would have likened us to have more possession of the ball.
Yeah. But I think
feel like we were kind of dominating. But
you might give that up though in a 4-4-2.
Yeah, but if there's the romantic side of things when we look back at United of old that set up in a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
We dominate most teams.
Yeah.
In possession stats.
But I will say that was a different time as well.
Oh, it was 100%. But if I was to be hypercritical,
yeah,
that would be my only kind of gripe on the performance. But it was how we set up in that, and even with all City's possession, they had 0 shots on target. Their standout performer was the goalkeeper. That tells you a lot.
Yeah.
It's not as if it was a smash and grab win. It wasn't that we caught them on the break once.
No, you played them well and you beat them well.
We could have beat them 6-7-0.
Yeah.
You think about the offsides, particularly that last offside. I don't know how that was called. That looked perfect to me. So that Mason Mount goal for me should have stood. Rode or look a little bit. I thought probably Diogo Dalot was probably the least impressive for United. There was an argument to be made that he should have been sent off for that tackle on Doku.
My initial thought was red on that one.
My initial thought was yellow, and it certainly looks a lot worse in slow motion. Everything does.
Yeah, I don't think he has intent to go and do the player, but that being said, it's high, and
Doku was he's pretty quick anyway.
Yeah.
But when they kind of slow it down in the replay, you don't get to see, how close Dalot was to getting the ball. It's not as obvious. But look, either way, we roll our luck a bit. Could have gone either way. I wouldn't have argued too much if it had been a red.
Yeah.
But obviously that would have probably affected the outcome of the game. So we were lucky in that sense. But I think overall the work rate was there. I thought, funny enough, even though I've said Dallo was probably performed the least out of all the United players. There was an improvement with him.
Yeah.
He was quicker out to the wings. He was a lot more disciplined. Gave the ball away a couple of times cheaply. Luke Shaw even on the overlap, which was great. So all round terrific performance, and I think Carrick has to take a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I think so.
He made a lot of bold decisions. He dropped Sesko. He played Mbumo up front on his own.
See, he's in a position where he can now do that. Sesko wasn't his player. Mbumo and Cunha, they're not his players. Do you know what I mean? So they're not his to justify their selection.
Yeah.
Or not being selected, you know. So he's in a position where it's not a bad position for him to be in. He's in as the interim at the moment, and any decision he makes is not like the axe isn't going to come down on his head. So he can try things like he tried this weekend.
Yeah.
And it paid dividends.
Yeah. So I suppose to answer the questions that I put out there, firstly, I think, yes, some of it is Derby Day energy. Some of it is the buzz from the new manager. But I think most of what we've seen on Saturday was down to Michael Carrick getting the most out of the players that we have, setting them up to be disciplined and be absolutely lethal on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
So I think Michael Carrick has to take a lot of credit for that.
We'll put it to other United fans as well, Gav,
that
are listening. And what's your opinion? As Gav said, was it a kind of Derby Day energy, new manager bounce, or as Gav says, Michael Carrick actually making a little bit of a difference there in the decisions he made in team selection and tactics?
Yeah, I think he just set up right. All the players were in the right position collectively. You had Casemiro. You essentially had kind of a midfield three because Bruno was coming back as well. They were very disciplined in defence, and Casemiro was allowed to be the Casemiro of old.
Yeah,
you know, do what he does best. He had Mainu. Mainu had a phenomenal game. You know, barely got any minutes under him. So I do think Carrick has to take a lot of credit for that, and for that reason, I think we're going to see a similar performance against Arsenal the weekend.
Yeah, we could just found that one in now. Just, you know.
No, it's not going to happen. We did just a favour last week. We're not going to do it 2 weeks in a row, Dave.
Yeah, we need you to not beat us this weekend because...
well, he didn't take advantage of it last week.
We'll get on to Arsenal.
We'll get on to it. But if I can just finish on United, what I would say is, for me, what I would be interested to see is we can set up exactly as we did against City for this Arsenal game now the weekend. Allow you to have possession and then look to punishes on the counter-attack. I'd be interested to see how we set up when we're expected to have more of the ball.
Yeah.
When we're at Old Trafford and we're up against lower opposition, let's say, and we're expected to have the ball and dominate possession.
Be interesting to see.
In that shape, does he go with the same shape? And can we pass our way through teams? Can we create chances when we ourselves are up against that kind of low block?
Yeah.
And we weren't particularly low. Like, you know, people talk a lot about the low block. We defended it, you know, everybody behind the ball, of course we did, but we weren't on the edge of our box for a lot of that.
Yeah.
So it was a tactical masterclass by Michael Carrick. But I'll be interested to see now.
See how it goes now.
When we go up against lesser opposition, particularly at Old Trafford when we're expected to dominate possession. Do we have what it takes to break down teams?
So it'll be next week before you're seeing that, because it's a fairly big game this weekend. Yeah. We'll get to that.
And
I suppose to run through some of the other games then on Saturday, if you're done. You've done there?
Yeah, you better cut me off because I'll keep going on like that.
Fair enough. We had Chelsea at home to Brentford. 2-0 to Chelsea there.
I mean, there was nothing stand out about that game. I don't think so. I was like,
it's a standard result. Brentford are going well, but Chelsea at home, you're always going to kind of favour them, aren't you?
Yeah.
Then Leeds 1-0 win at home to Fulham. Again, probably expected that one.
Yeah, I don't know if we expected it. I mean, I've said it many times in this podcast. Ellen Road is a tough place to go. But it did. I mean, it took an extra time winner for Leeds to get over the line, but it was a huge victory for them. It's a big
one. None of the I was just looking. Sorry, I'm looking ahead to the next game already. I was just looking at Liverpool 1-1 with Burnley at Anfield, but I think was it this weekend? None of the bottom four lost their games.
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can just go back to Leeds, I mean, for Leeds' point of view, that's them comfortably out of sight of the relegation zone.
Yeah, I think
they're after building up a nice little buffer there. They're already up to 30 points with 22 games played.
25 points.
Sorry, 25 points. Sorry.
But it has them. They have a good gap between themselves and West Ham in 18th, who are on 17 points.
Yeah, it's a good gap to have, you know, and
it's a good place for them to be in, Ari.
Yeah, I think so. And like again, if they get another win over the next couple of weeks, you know, they could see themselves climbing up there nicely, I think.
But again, I suppose to move ahead, a team who don't seem to be in a good place at all, relatively speaking, I'm not talking about being down in relegation, is Liverpool. Drawing again, or well, not winning again at Anfield, 1-1.
Yeah, insane. Like, positive for Liverpool, obviously, where it's getting on the score sheet again. He hasn't done it too many times this season.
No, he hasn't.
Like the soundings from Liverpool fans, that they're still impressed with him, although he's not getting the numbers up.
Yeah,
and that actually leads me on to the question I wanted to ask you about Arsenal. Saka, star boy.
Yeah,
starts every week.
He didn't start last week.
That goes against me point. But generally, he's the big dog at Arsenal. He's the golden child.
Yeah.
His numbers are terrible, Dave.
Right.
Stats, goals, assists.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But what I'll say is Arsenal's fucking numbers are terrible.
Yeah.
Arsenal's numbers are terrible. Can't score. 2 weeks in a row now. 0-0 draws 2 weeks in a row. This fucking we could be sitting here looking at Arsenal 11 points clear top of the league if they hadn't bottled it against let's say a poor Liverpool team.
Yeah.
Who came to the Emirates and showed nothing in terms of winning the game, but neither did Arsenal. And then we go away to Forest. Okay, not necessarily an easy place to go to, but I mean,
Barfest.
Yeah.
Another Barfest.
No chances. Nothing. Well, there was a chance. Martinelli at the back post, who, yeah, well, less said about it, the better. I'm not feeling very positive about Arsenal's title chances. And I know we're sitting here, we're 7 points clear. We gained a point on our title rivals over the course of this weekend, with Villa not winning against Everton on Sunday as well. But if Arsenal can't find a way to start creating chances and scoring, and I know like Saka, yeah, he's not putting up the numbers. What I will say is, if you actually watch the Arsenal games, he is he's positively impacting games. Do you know what I mean?
I know, like he's great to watch, and he's one of the more exciting Arsenal players, definitely. But so is Odegaard, and his numbers are poor as well. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you go back to, was it last season, the season before, where he's had 50 points at Christmas?
Yeah.
And
let me throw that away.
He's threw that away, but Saka was on form. Odegaard was on form. And I said last week as well, the quality all round in the Premier League has been shocking this season.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's consistent. Nobody's absolutely running away with it. Nobody's destroying teams. Even as you said, as an Arsenal fan, 7 points clear at the top. Any other season, if you're in that position, you're saying to yourself, we're flying. Right now, you might still be nervous to chase and pack, but it's the very reason I don't think you should be nervous, because the Man City are in second, and they look completely off it.
Yeah.
Liverpool, completely off it. United, okay, we had one decent performance last week, but up until then we drew against the three bottom teams in the league.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know, there's no, like,
actually, just
Chelsea hit and miss as well. Any teams around you are worse off than you are, Dave. So I genuinely believe you don't have too much to worry about.
Yeah, I
except United this weekend.
Yeah, except United this weekend. Interesting fact on you talk about the quality of the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
I was listening to, it was the Arsecast, Arseblogs podcast. This only today I was listening to it.
Sounds like they talk shit, Dave.
Well, no, I do like that podcast. It's probably one of my favourites.
That's
anyway,
good,
yeah. They were talking about the Premier League this season and the amount of 0-0 draws. And apparently last season there was 16 0-0 draws all season. We're up to January now, and there's already 17 in the Premier League.
Sure, I spoke last week about the game that was on over the game day that was on over Christmas. I think it was a couple of midweek fixtures, 5 of them maybe. and 4 of them were draws.
There you go.
I think the other one was like a 1-0 win or something.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
Yeah, right. It is. Like there's been a lot of boring games this season. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether just
Was it the Liverpool Arsenal game? The 0-0? That was the worst game I've seen all season.
Yeah,
that was shocking.
Well, then you didn't watch Forest and Arsenal, did you?
I just seen the highlights. Thank God I didn't subject myself to the full match.
I suppose to round up Saturday, then we had Sunderland winning 2-1 at home to Palace. You'd fairly well expect that, I suppose, with Sunderland being so solid at home. And then you had West Ham 2-1 winners in the Toilet Bowl against Spurs.
You loved that one, didn't you, Dave?
I did love that one. I have to say, I watched that game actually. It was
the circumstances of it, much like the Finglas United game.
Yeah.
The winner came in the 93rd
minute. Very dramatic altogether, and I just love it. I love watching Spurs capitulate.
Suffer.
Yeah, it does make me happy. Then Sunday, Wolves at home to Newcastle. Good result for Wolves considering how their season's been going, but another 0-0 draw.
Yeah, it's a strange one for Newcastle because they've pretty much been the same side for what feels like a number of seasons now.
Yeah.
I've spoken before about the midfield three, and I ranked them fairly highly, but they just don't seem to be. Now we say that now at the moment they've won tonight 3-0 in the Champions League as far as I know.
Yeah.
We sat on the score sheet for them as well tonight. So,
but even Spurs come in the Champions League.
But at the same time, Liverpool are after winning 3-0 as well tonight, I think. So
I don't know. The Premier League form doesn't seem to be transferring over to Champions League for a lot of these teams.
Yeah. As we said, Spurs and all winning in the Champions League.
Yeah,
are they 5th in the Champions League table now?
Fucking Mickey Mouse tournament.
Then the Everton one was a bit of a shock result, I thought. I would have said Villa were firm favourites, but again... Yes,
I would, but we also spoke about how Villa are going to just fall away in this so-called title race that they're in.
I just didn't think it would happen so soon. I thought they were still carrying that momentum.
Yeah, maybe. It was an Emi Martinez mistake, I think, as far as I remember with this game. Which
it was. It was a fairly routine save, fumbled it, let it go back out.
Okay.
And Barry capitalised. But yeah, again, it wasn't as boring as some of the games. I did watch the highlights, but yeah, I don't know. It's like every team in the Premier League at the moment. It's just hit and miss. You don't know what you're getting from one week to the next. But
then we had, to round it up all together for the weekend, we had Brighton and Bournemouth on Monday Night Football.
I did watch this game actually.
Did you? I didn't get to see this one.
Yeah, I did watch this game, and yeah, it was a strange. It was a home game for Brighton. Started okay the first 5 minutes. Bournemouth grew into the game, and they could have had plenty of goals, and they just didn't capitalise and didn't get that second goal, and it just sort of.
It's kind of been a bit like that for Bournemouth.
Opened the door for Brighton.
They're not losing games, but they're not winning either.
What I will say is, doesn't necessarily look like they're missing Semenyo.
No.
And they have signed a new Brazilian winger as well in this window.
I
don't know much about him. Rayan, 35 million they've bought him for. Interesting to see how he does.
Can't claim to know anything about him, to be honest.
Same here. But we just have to wait and see. He could light it up for them.
Could do.
Could make them a couple of quid in the season or two.
Do you want to do a quick look at this weekend?
Yeah, we look forward to the fixtures this week. And I'll let you read them out there first, Dave.
Yeah, so starting at lunchtime on Saturday is West Ham at home to Sunderland. Interesting. West Ham off the back of a big win. But Sunderland are fairly strong, and I would think Sunderland, but I wouldn't be surprised at a draw.
Yeah, if you look at both of their forms, I know what we said about Sunderland. Obviously, Stadium Light is their fortress. That's where they're going to pick up most point, and where they have done. I don't think West Ham's the most difficult place to go, particularly at the moment.
Not at the moment, but
if I was to give it to anyone, I'd say Sunderland on that one.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Sunderland win. Next up is Burnley at home to Spurs. Now, last week I joked that West Ham would beat Spurs.
And they did.
So I'm going to say 3-0 Burnley.
Yeah. Can I just say, are you surprised Thomas Frank's still there?
Not yet, but I can't see it being too much longer for him.
Do you think if they're beaten by Burnley the weekend, he's gone?
Possibly, because that'd be a bad result. But then they're doing well in the Champions League. They just beat Borussia Dortmund tonight 2-0.
I know it's no good for them though at the end.
No.
In a relegation battle and down to prove on last season.
No. Because they're not.
You've seen how poor they were last season, even though they beat us in the European final.
Because they're not going to be in Europe next year.
No.
Because they're not going to win the Champions League.
Imagine they did, Dave, and you lost the Premier League on the final day.
It's not happening. Spurs won't win the Champions League. Spurs will not win the Champions League.
I'm not putting it out there into the universe, Dave.
Going on record
I'm
right
manifesting
now.
it.
Well, I'm manifesting the fact that they're not going to win the Champions League. So there we go.
Cancel each other out.
Yeah. The only cup that Spurs will be lifting this year is Thomas Frank with his Arsenal cup, drinking his cup of tea. I'm going to say it.
Are you going to say it?
Yeah, I just did.
Say it again, Dave. Right, so...
we have then Fulham at home to Brighton.
Sorry, if we just look back at the Burnley Spurs game.
Yep.
Do you think Burnley in that game? Because I actually genuinely do think Burnley will get a result.
Do you know what? I joke I said 3-0, but I actually think Burnley will get a result.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Sorry, cut across you. So we move on to Fulham Brighton.
Yeah, Fulham Brighton. I'm going to give this one to Brighton, I think.
I don't know. Yeah,
I know Fulham are at home, but they're so...
A lot of ex-pros talk about how difficult it is to play away at Craven Cottage.
Yeah, I suppose.
So...
It's actually a 6-pointer for a mid-table place.
Yeah,
it could make a
like
difference.
If we talk about the home form, they did... In Fulham's last home game at Craven Cottage, they beat Chelsea 2-1.
Okay.
Game before that, they drew 2-0 with Liverpool. So...
Right, so...
I think I'm going to go Fulham on this one.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. I'll say Brighton. I said it. I'll stick with it.
All right, stick to your guns, Dave.
I will.
Just to be awkward.
Next up, we've Man City at home to Wolves. I can only see one result there. I think.
Wolves.
No, I'd love to see that result. If Wolves go and beat Man City this weekend, I'll start etching Arsenal's name into the title.
Will you?
Yeah, I'd probably
Is that all it take, even if we beat us?
We'd still be 7 points at that point, and if City are going to start dropping points to teams like Wolves, then I know I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but I'd be a little bit more confident then that City are kind of not going to go on that run that I'm afraid of. Do you know, like
they just don't look like a team capable of doing it.
No, I don't. Not at the moment. They don't know. But
how long are you going to say that for? Because we're more than halfway through the season now.
I know.
Do you just keep saying any day now City's going to change gear?
There'll be 3 games left.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, look, they're going to go on a run. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Yeah, 12 points clear, three games left.
Yeah.
They're going to still come back.
They could do it.
Wait a minute.
But I suppose with this game, it's surely City win this game.
They do. Don't call me surely. Can I just say on City, did you see Richard Keys this week?
I did.
And Andy Gray.
Yeah. Such a pair of fucking dinosaurs who shouldn't be allowed
Absolute
anywhere
fossils.
near the game anymore.
Fossils. He's spouting on like he's working for Sky Sports News and he's got a hot tip.
He's got this big in the know. Do you know what I mean?
No.
What was it he said?
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes this week. He's definitely going to go at the end of the season.
Like, I mean, come on. Pep Guardiola is not going to walk away from City this week. Do you know what I mean?
No.
That's such a...
For me, Pep has too big an ego to walk away at this stage of the season.
But they still have a chance of winning the league.
I think the reason he signed that contract extension and didn't leave at the end of last season is because he didn't want to go out without a trophy. He wanted to go out on a high. You know, you'll have to come on. You know, 2 seasons ago, they're treble winners. And they came away with nothing last year. So I think he'd like to at least go out with a league.
He would.
Can we just talk about Man City spending as well, right? So I seen the thing the other day where they're over $500 million since the start of 24, is it? The 24 season?
Yeah, something like that.
It's literally like it's a short window.
This a team with 115 charges hanging over their head for financial breaches, like.
Yeah, and apparently that's expected to drag on for another 12 months.
Year. We'll never see a result in this. Doesn't it?
But part of me, like the question's kind of out there that part of the big spend from City is they're expecting maybe a transfer ban or something to come down the line. So they're trying to get in. Like if you look at some of the profile of the players that they're getting in, they're quite young. They've got a couple of years on them.
Yeah.
So
Do you think a transfer ban would actually impact City that much?
I don't think an impact, like, transfer ban alone for me doesn't match the crime.
No, definitely not.
I don't think that's sufficient enough. If it came as a package deal with a monetary fine or points deduction, something along those lines,
something like that. I think for me,
I don't think in itself.
For me, the only
transfer ban would be.
For me, the only just course of action here is a points deduction. When you look at Nottingham Forest and Everton, teams who held their hands up and handed in their accounts and said, "Oh, we fucked up here."
Yeah.
You know, and they were slapped with their fines. And I know the circumstances are a little bit different, but they were slapped with their fines and their point deductions instantly. It's just the only just course of action, I think, is definitely a points deduction for City, and a hefty one.
Is it retrospective points deduction, or is it just one lump sum affection now?
I would rather see them get one massive points deduction.
Yeah.
In a season.
Even
let them keep their fucking titles. I don't care.
Even if it costs them a relegation.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the keeping of the. I agree with you of the sort of keeping of the titles. I don't want the title with an asterisk beside it.
No, I wouldn't want it.
Don't want it. I'd say Liverpool fans might have a different take on it.
Well, Arsenal fans as well. Like, this is me. We finished second. We finished second to them 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Which means we would get 2 little asterisks. But what's the point? What's the point?
It doesn't feel like you've won it.
No, you're
still playing against 11 men at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
you still have to beat the team in front of you. If you don't do that over the course of a season, I don't think you deserve the title even with an asterisk.
No. Maybe.
What I would say is dependent. Like if they were to come down with a hefty points deduction, I'm not sure it would sit well with me if they got it all at once, let's say, and it caused them to be relegated. Like if they.
I know where you're going to go with this. I think
I would nearly prefer that they had it. Maybe, let's say they give them 20 points this year, and then they start at a -20 the following season, or something like that. I think not that it'd be overly harsh. Look, I think it has to match the crime, but I think who benefits from them just going straight down to the championship?
Well, yeah, you're probably right. Actually,
like, is the championship going to be like the championship team's going to be going up against Haaland, Bernardo Silva? What's that going to do for the championship next season?
Smaller staff at the club probably lose jobs, stuff like that as well. Do you know what I mean? Well, maybe not a team like City with the money they have, but it you just don't know. So you're probably right.
It's going to have to set a precedent, because money and sort of the illegal moving around of money, the shuffling of money around, and these fake sponsorship deals and all the sort of stuff is only going to become more rampant if they don't make an example out of City with this.
I really think they have to. I don't think they're going to. That's the other side of it.
No, I don't either. I think money talks, and the most powerful people, usually with the most money, can wriggle their way out of situations. And by all accounts, from what I've heard, City have the top of the top.
Yeah. Oh, but they can afford the best
attorneys and lawyers and solicitors and everything else. Yeah. So I think.
Yeah. So no, I think they're going to
probably end up making money from it. yeah. They'll probably end up suing the FA or something. God knows.
And Liverpool will have to
defamation of character.
Liverpool will have to hand over the title they won when they finished first. Something like that.
Yeah. City don't mind them asterisks one bit.
Yeah.
Take them all.
Yeah. So no, I don't know.
I think United fans would love that, actually.
But anyway, I suppose we'll move on. Actually, we mentioned Liverpool. They're the next game of the weekend. They're away to Bournemouth, and I actually think Bournemouth get a result here again. Probably a draw. Maybe a draw.
Yeah, it's at the Vitality as well. So
yeah, it's a tough place to go, and Liverpool not in the best form. I'm gonna say maybe a.
Yeah. What I like about Bournemouth is the energy they play with.
Yeah,
I do. They're a great team to watch. And they're very much set up sort of similar maybe to how United set up against City in terms of structurally, defensively sound, men behind the ball, and then they've got the likes of a Tavernier, breaking. They've got a couple of pacey players there that will just get you up the pitch nice and quick and make something happen.
Yeah. So I do like them. They're a good side. Brentford at home to Forest, first game on Sunday.
Yep.
Um,
That could go either way for me.
Could go either way, couldn't that one?
Yeah.
If Forest were at home, I'd probably give it to Forest, but I'd say a draw. Gonna say a draw.
Yeah. I mean, Brentford will be looking to bounce back after defeat to Chelsea last week. So,
yeah, but it's just that part of the season where teams are starting to wobble, if you want, you know.
yeah, if we're falling in line with everything that's happened in the Premier League so far this season, you can't call any of them.
No, it's been very difficult actually.
It's very difficult this season to call any of them. I mean, you're looking at sides, you're looking at their form. They're all hit and miss.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're going to get out of them from one week to the next, and we can say, oh, they're at home and they played well last week. Goes out the window.
No, you're trying to just balance it and think, right, okay, this team are better, but this team are in form, and then this team they're at home and they're away, whatever,
yeah,
you know.
Mean, you would have had, like, going into last weekend, you get hours and hours of analysis of all the top teams from all the top fan bases and all that sort of stuff. Come Saturday, come Sunday,
goes out
the window.
Yeah. Moving on then to Palace at home to Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's a draw, isn't it? It's a draw.
Yeah, I mean,
like, yeah, it just feels like a draw. But I won't. Do you know what?
Maybe.
I think Chelsea actually win it. I think Chelsea. I'll give it to Chelsea.
Yeah, Mateta's in the shop window now, so he'll probably put on the performance of his life and score a hat-trick.
He might well do.
First touch would be immaculate.
Yeah,
just to shut us up.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll probably see it going the same way. I think I'll go Chelsea on it.
Yeah,
I think I'll go Chelsea on it. Good game now, on paper at least.
The next one?
If you look at form, maybe not so, but certainly on paper.
On paper, definitely. I have
Newcastle Villa at St James's Park.
Yeah.
That's a game I'll be looking out for. I hope it kind of lives up.
That might be the one to watch, isn't it? And then we'll move, like, if you're sitting there Sunday watching the football all day, you go straight from Newcastle Villa to Arsenal Man United. So
yeah, I think Newcastle Villa would be my pick of the 2 o'clock games, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good game, actually, isn't it? Or it could end up being an absolute bore fest and end up 0-0. Do you know what I mean?
Dave versus Gav.
But I think...
Here's how this one plays out, Dave.
Are you going Newcastle Villa here?
Oh, sorry, we're still on the Newcastle Villa.
We haven't given a prediction on that one yet.
Apologies.
I'll tell you what, real quickly, I'll just say I think Newcastle get a win there at home.
Okay, I'll go Villa.
All right, fair enough. Right. The big one. Arsenal at home to United.
You're the home team, so I'm going to let you start off on this one.
I'm not confident in going into this game.
You shouldn't be.
I think United, again, off the back of a very big win, very good win, looked very good. And they're going to play, as you said earlier, they're going to play in a very similar way, and Arsenal are definitely going to have a lot of the ball. And I feel like we're going to be susceptible to counter-attacks in this game, and I just don't. It depends. Like, if you sit back and try and soak the pressure off us, we can't break low blocks. We're brutal at it. And if United do sit like that and try and catch us on the break, then I think, I don't know. I actually feel like there's an upset here. I think United are going to, what would be considered an upset. I think United are going to win this game.
I think you're spot on with that analysis. I definitely think Arsenal will dominate in terms of possession. I just don't think if last week's anything to go by, I think you'll find it very difficult to break us down, and we will definitely be looking for that counter-attack every time. The only thing I would say is Arsenal defensively are a lot more solid
than Man City. We are. The other thing I'll say to kind of counter my own thing, my own argument for United winning the game is if we manage to get a set piece, corner, Gabriel, goal, it changes the dynamic of the game a little bit.
Yeah, well, you definitely have the height advantage. You've got Saliba and Gabriel in there. We've only really Harry Maguire, you would say. I think he might. I wonder if he throw the likes of a Xerxes on, knowing that Arsenal are going to be looking for set pieces. Do you know what I mean? Maybe, just to have that extra bit of height, because, I mean, look, Martinez had a great game last week, and there's a lot of controversy back and forth between himself, Scholes, and Nicky Butt. Over comments Nicky Butt and Scholes made about his height and Haaland picking him up and carrying him.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I did actually. There was
it was a bit of handbag stuff, really.
Stupid stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, I think it was kind of blown out of proportion. But
yeah,
I do think he might struggle on set pieces with the likes of Gabriel. I'd say
Gabriel's just a menace on a corner. So
yeah, but Harry Maguire wins most headers. He does. Like he's solid in the air, and it's going to be an interesting one. I do fancy us to take this just off the back of last week if I've anything to go by.
Yeah.
As I said, with the rest of the fixtures we've gone through, if the Premier League's anything to go by this season, you don't know what you're going to get. You really don't.
No.
But that's my gut feeling is telling me that there was a result there for United.
Yeah, I look. I've said my piece, and I do fancy us, and I don't know why. What I will say is Gyökeres doesn't start for me in this game.
Who do you find is your most creative winger? Like on the left side, would it be Eze, Trossard?
No. Trossard.
If
Depends on the game, right? Sorry, I'll tell you now. It does depend on the game. Between Trossard and Martinelli, if you're playing against a team who's going to actually try and come out and play you,
yeah,
Martinelli's the player.
Right. Well, you aren't going to do that.
No, so it's going to be Trossard because he's better in between the lines. He's better at kind of close control and picking a pass, stuff like that. So
the reason I say that is because if there's a weak link in that United team, if they set up the same as last week, it's Diogo Dalot.
Okay.
And if I'm Arsenal and I'm Arteta, I'm saying to Trossard, run at him, and I'm saying, who would you usually play on the left side of the defence? Like, would you have Calafiori overlapping?
If Calafiori was fit, but it's going to be Moz Lewis-Skelly.
I'd double up on Dalot. I'd have Lewis-Skelly double up. Now, okay, this is hypothetical, and Amad Diallo runs all day, so he'll probably cover that run anyway. But if there is a weak link, that's what
if you're saying that,
I'd be looking at Diogo Dalot.
If you're saying that, and if I'm Mikel Arteta in that circumstance, maybe I don't start Trossard or Martinelli, and I go with Noni Madueke on the left. Likes to run at his man.
Is Madueke not better on the right?
He is, but Saka is going to be playing. So it just in terms of having someone to run at your man.
Yeah.
Then I'd say Madueke is probably better than that, than Martinelli or Trossard, but it's not his natural side, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Saka's going to have a hard time, I think, if he starts the weekend, because with this new United setup in the 4-4-2, like he's going to be up against Dorgu before he even gets to Shaw.
Yeah.
So I think the midfield is where this game is going to be won and lost, because I think like Zubimendi and Rice probably in the heart of that.
Zubimendi and Rice. Do you know what? For this game, I'd probably drop Odegaard and bring in Eze. Someone to be a little bit more chaotic in that centre and play in between the lines again.
Is that not a game for Odegaard?
No, I don't think so.
If United have that many bodies behind the ball and they're allowed to play, is he not the kind of Arsenal equivalent of a Bruno Fernandes that can kind of pick?
Oh, he can pick a pass, but he's again
ball between the lines.
Struggling this low block. Struggling against this low block. Do you know who I play in this game? I drop Gyökeres, I drop Gabriel Jesus, and I put Mikel Merino up front in this game.
That could be a show, actually, and that he's very good at set pieces as well.
Yeah, I know. Like, obviously he's a midfielder, but he's made a good case for himself up front at times.
Can I just rewind it back for you Arsenal lot, right? When your only striker was Havertz, and you weren't winning the league and you were coming up short, all the talk was, we need a number 9. We need a number 9.
Yeah.
You now have a number 9
who's not playing well,
and everyone's saying how much they can't wait for Havertz to come back.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Are you
on that side of the defence?
Yeah. I would love to have a fully fit Kai Havertz back in the team. What do
you think he brings that Gyökeres doesn't?
It's hard to say, because in theory Gyökeres should be the better player. I think he's probably a better finisher given chances. I think he's more powerful. He's probably even faster. But I just think Kai Havertz is a more intelligent player, and I think that means a lot on a football pitch these days.
Do you think sort of his style of play would bring more out of Odegaard and Saka?
I think so,
because he does drop deep.
Yeah,
brings other players into play.
This is why I would go with Marino in this game.
You think he does that more than Gyökeres does, where Gyökeres is kind of on the shoulder of the last man a lot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which is strange. That's one thing that bothers me, and I think I've spoke about it before on the podcast about Gyökeres, and it's not just him, by the way. It's a lot of strikers in the Premier League at the moment. Even those that play on the shoulder of the last man, and try to force the defence back towards the goal. When the ball comes in across the box, they're still hanging out outside.
So
I said about Gyökeres last week where Royce had put a ball in. And Gyökeres is standing like on the 18-yard line, and you're like,
where is the natural instinct here?
Just to go, like, I'm a goal scorer. I want to be as close to that goal as I can.
Yeah.
And I want them tap-ins.
Yeah.
Get the numbers up.
Yeah.
Tap-ins all day.
I'll take tap-ins.
Van Nistelrooy back in the day very rarely scored. I don't know what his numbers were for goals outside the box, but they were considerably lower than inside the box. He was a poacher.
Yeah.
Like, now, I don't want to discredit his game. He was fantastic. But if you were to describe him, he was happy to take the scruffy goals.
Oh, yeah.
The fumbles.
Yeah.
Just throw toe at it. He was happy to take them goals just as much as some of his better finishes. But
it's the kind of player you need against that sort of low block kind of play. Someone who's just going to put themselves in the right position in the box for something coming in.
If you're a striker, you have to be just constantly throwing yourself in the mixer and just hoping something falls your way. Like, you have to put yourself in there.
Be an interesting one. Although, with all of that being said, I don't think Mikel Arteta will go off script, and I think you're going to see Gyökeres up front.
Yeah, I think so. Do you? So, what's your predictions? I feel like you're coming at me with a draw here.
No, United are going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I would realistically, I think it's probably more likely to be a draw. But
I don't.
Heart is telling me United win on this one.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
It's not going to be as electric, I don't think, as it was last weekend. But I'd like to see, all United fans would, something of a similar level from United.
Yeah. What would be very annoying is if he's beat us now this weekend, and then the following weekend, whoever he's playing against, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Going
I mean, there's talk already. Like, before that game kicked off on Saturday, a lot of the discussion was about, like, we even talked about Shaw's comment there when he was talking about United's next manager or full-time appointment.
Yeah.
Carrick wasn't in the mixer.
No. Nobody
was talking about him. And now, all the talk of United DNA, we saw it on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got that, as United fans, we got that feeling back again.
Yeah.
And we witnessed something that we haven't seen in a very long time. And now, Carrick's name's in the mixer. So, I'm not going to go into too much detail on that because it's one game.
Yeah.
Essentially. I know he's had previous good results as well in his last term as interim manager, but I want to give this time, see how it plays out. And as I said to you before as well, it's really going to be key how we play against teams where we're expected to have most of the ball. That'll be the next challenge. It won't be this weekend. Arsenal will certainly have more of the ball. So
so it remains to be seen there just how that one looks like. Yeah. We have one more game actually for the weekend. Monday Night Football is Everton at home to Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, both coming off the back of good results.
Yeah. I'll give it to Everton. I think I'll give
Everton
it to Everton
at home, is it? It's at the Hill Dickinson.
Yeah, I'll give it to Everton.
Yeah, I'll go with Everton as well.
Yeah.
Well, so that concludes the Premier League review for this week. What's the plans going into the weekend, Dave, to finish us off?
This weekend, Gav, not much planned. Again, watch some football. Probably get a bit done around the house. There's a few snags need doing, do you know what I mean? But other than that, no, not much planned. Except for Sunday, maybe.
Yeah, I think we're going to look at heading back to Larney Park to have a look at Finglas United against Bray in Finglas United's last cup game. As I said before, they're all but guaranteed to get through to the quarterfinals. But it would be nice to finish that off with a win against Bray the weekend.
Nice to finish strong, wouldn't it?
For anyone interested in going to that game, tickets are available at eventbrite.ie. That's on this Sunday, and kick-off there is at 12 o'clock, and that's in Kildonnan Park, actually. Last week's game was on in Larney Park, which is the grass pitch up in Kildonnan Park. But this week it's actually going to be on the all-weather, so tickets are even more limited than they were last week. So if you're interested in going on
going to that game, then you can get on to eventbrite.ie where tickets are available, and maybe we'll see us there.
Yeah, and keep an eye on the AnyGames socials for updates from the game.
Yeah, we're hoping to get some post-match interviews on that one as well. Maybe speak to the Finglas United manager, John McClean, and maybe some of the players themselves as well. So
keep an eye out to see what we can do.
Yeah, if it's anything like last week, we're in for a cracker.
Yeah, think so.
And yeah, just if you aren't following us already, please do so. Across all socials, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, all the good stuff.
X as well. You'll find us on X.
Yeah,
not very active over there at the minute. I'm trying to do something a little bit different over on that. We're trying to look at that and do something different. We'll have a look at that though. But we are over there.
Yeah. But as Dave said earlier at the beginning of the podcast, we have a good few guests lined up over the next couple of weeks. So we'll be recording probably at a rate of 2 a week, but we will only be releasing 1 a week. And we'll be kind of just sort of letting them go live. And with that as well, as I had said earlier in the podcast, we will get out to more of the amateur games, including the Leinster Senior League, and doing our best to get reactions from players and managers involved in those games, and getting, I suppose, just doing a bit of coverage on it and getting them across the socials and keeping everybody up to date. So that'll be all across our socials, and we'll discuss it here on the podcast, and maybe drop some of the audio in from the interviews with the players and the managers as we get them.
Yeah.
So
like that. If you're anybody who's listening to this and you're involved at any of those clubs, get in touch with us. Let us know as well that you want us out.
Yeah, and as always, if you're trying to get involved in a 5-a-side, a 7-a-side, get on to AnyGames.ie, where you can go to the Find a Game section. If you're somebody who's running a game, you can get on and the Find a Player section.
Find a Player
if you're
section.
looking for numbers.
And we use our socials to shout all those posts out as well.
Yeah, as well as the podcast. And if you are a club that has any events running on in your club, fundraisers, anything at all, and you'd like us to spread the word across those social pages, do let us know, and we can make them happen for you. You can get in touch with us over at AnyGames.ie.
There is the club section as well.
The club section as well, yeah.
And actually, a section that kind of goes unnoted, a few people use it every so often, is the community chat. Head over there and raise questions for the podcast that you want us to bring.
It's a proper good old-fashioned forum.
Yeah, it is. It's like that. It's a good old-fashioned forum. And
just go over and say a piece. It's kind of like, what would be the modern equivalent? To be like a Reddit, would it?
No, it's not quite as bad as a Reddit.
Like Reddit is a cesspit.
Yeah, I don't even like giving that place a mention.
Yeah, it's
awful. No, it's just set up like a forum. So if you want to go over there, and if you want to raise questions for the podcast, it's the chat section on AnyGames.ie.
Yeah. So we see ourselves as a footballing community, an amateur football community, and if you're part of that community, you have a voice, and you can be heard over at AnyGames.ie, and you can make your opinions known, and we can share them across the platform and discuss them. And
we'll discuss them here and throw them back out to other listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's been a great week for us, Dave. I'll finish on that.
Yeah.
It's been a great week for Finglas United as well, and for Man United.
Not so much for Arsenal.
And I'm hoping I'm coming back here next week and saying the exact same thing.
I might be sick next week. We'll see. Might call in sick next Wednesday.
Yeah, you're not looking well. You're looking.
Yeah. Looking a bit peaky.
Bit peaky.
Yeah.
Peaky blinders.
Peaky blinder.
Yeah. Thomas Shelby over there. But come here to all our listeners, all our followers, and to everybody who engaged with us over the weekend with our coverage of the LFA Cup game. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated, and we hope to have more and more of that over the coming weeks and months. And we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks for listening.
Slán a bhaile.